welcome to IRL Skills of Miss C. That's me. Today I want to show you how to thread a needle. This seems so simple, but it can be a little tricky. So today I want to show you how to do it by hand and how to use a needle threader. So stick around and let's learn. Okay, we're back. Before we can actually sew something, we need to get our tools together. So if you have your needle, your thread, scissors, and a needle threader, usually comes in little sewing kits. So if you have one, don't throw it away. They're very, very useful. Okay, so what we want to do first is we want to get some thread. Here's my thread. I hope you can see it on the screen. You're just gonna grab some, pull. I like to use about the length of my arm, depending on what I'm sewing. You're gonna cut some off. See how flat this is? This is what we want. We want it nice and flat. If you see any of it where it's like kind of frayed at the end, it's gonna make it more difficult to thread your needle. So what we're gonna do is grab our needle. Hold on, I gotta pick it up first. Okay. Grab our needle and then hold it. If you look on your needle, there's this little bubble here. This is called the eye of the needle. This is the sharp side, this is the bubble, okay? Okay, so if you want, you could roll the needle in your hand to get it to the angle that you like, okay? We don't want to have the thread sticking out this far, okay? Because when you put it in the needle, a lot of times it can just bend and it gets a little hard, okay? So what you want to do is hold the thread between your index finger and your thumb. Kind of pull it back so it's shorter, okay? Get your needle, okay? Roll the needle in your fingers, again, between your index finger and your thumb is best. Roll it so you can see a good view. And you're just gonna stick your thread through the needle. Can you see that? Was it hard? If you roll it, you can see a little better. Grab your thread that's at the end, and if you let it hang, you know that you did it correctly. Okay, let's do this again. You're gonna insert the thread into the needle. Rotate it so you can see better. And there it is. Can you see? You know you did it right if you're able to let the needle just hang, okay? Now, in order to make this a double threaded needle, we are going to have to tie the end. So kind of, I like to meet the ends together. Set my needle down and tie the knot. So an easy way for me is what I found is you put your two fingers like this, okay? Wrap it over, let your thumb hold it, and you can pull it through. What you're wanting to do is wrap it around your finger. Do you see this X shape? We want to have an X shape. Then you can either go underneath, pull the tail, okay? And now you have a loop. Okay, that loop you can move along the thread, wherever you want. We would like it to be towards the end. This is harder than I thought. So you want it to be towards the end. Pull it, and see, now we have a knot. One knot is usually not enough because when you're sewing, it's small enough to go through the fabric. So you want to do at least 2 to 3 knots. So in order to do it again, we're just going to grab our thread, wrap it around your finger, make that X, okay? Go, see how there's kind of like a hole here? You're going to go through that, grab the tail, pull it through, okay? Now we're gonna try to make it land right on top of this knot. So let go, kind of, I hooked it with my other finger and it kind of moves it along. Okay, so now we're gonna try to move it along so we can try to land both knots on top of each other. Can you see that? Both knots are on top. There's times where you're first learning that you might not land it on top. Let's say like if you do it and it lands under, like off to the side here. Okay, let's say it lands off to the side here. See how there's two knots, right? This will not work because it's just gonna go through the first knot and then go through the second. So you want to either cut this part off here, okay? Cut this part off, okay? And now try to make the second knot land on top. On the fingers, go through and pull. Okay, use your finger to kind of guide. Okay, we're gonna try to hold it and make it. Sometimes if you catch it before, you can actually like resize your hole before it comes through. Oh, almost got it, almost got it. Perfect. Okay, so now that we have this, we officially have a double threaded needle. Why? There's two. 1, 2. Okay, so that's ready to sew for your project. Okay. Now, let me show you how to use a needle threader. Okay, let me show you how to use a needle threader. This is a needle threader. It has this cool little guy on here, okay? But what we care about is this little diamond looking thing. Okay, so what we're gonna do is grab our thread and our needle. Okay, first, you're gonna put the needle on the needle threader. So just stick the little diamond into the needle hole, okay? You should be able to let it hang also. The second thing is, grab your thread. Can you see this? And you're going to insert it into the little diamond, okay? If you want, you can hold it a little bit so it doesn't come out whenever you pull it. I like to hold both and the needle, and then you're just gonna slip the needle driver out, pull it, and now your needle is threaded. So then you would just go back through the motions on how to tie a knot, okay? Oh, I dropped it. Okay, so how to tie a knot. And then tie your knot and you're good, okay? So let me show you 2 ways to tie a knot. So the first way I already showed you would be wrap it around your 2 fingers, make this X, okay? And grab the tail, okay? Pretty simple. Then you would tie your knot, okay? Now, the second way is pretty similar, but easier, I think. So we have our needle threaded, okay? Now, I've heard this called the magic knot, okay? So what you wanna do is you're gonna wrap it around your finger, make sure that it crosses. See how it crossed? Okay, hold it in between your finger, and basically you're just gonna roll, okay? Take your finger out, and you have a knot. That was pretty easy. Let me show you again. Okay, again, no knot. Wrap it around your finger. You're gonna make sure you have like a little X, okay? Do you see the X? The magic part is when you roll it down towards the end of your finger. Roll it, and then pull. Ha, magic trick that didn't work. Let's do it again. Wrap it around your finger, making the X, okay? Do you see it? Now you're just gonna go like this with your finger. That's all we're doing. And you're getting it to roll, and then you pull. Bam. And this will not come through your fabric, okay? So one more time. Oh, my scissors aren't working. Okay, one more time, because I think this is like the simplest method. Get your finger, wrap it around. We have this X motion, okay? Do you see it? Thumb on top, just roll, and then pull. There she is. Can you see the knot? Magic. Perfect. So now you're able to sew your button on, fix that little stuffy you've always wanted to do, fix your pillow, and you won't have to ask for help. All right, thank you for watching.